Hi, everybody, and welcome. We are going to wait just a few more seconds to give everybody a chance to get onto this call. In the meantime, please can you note in the chat if you can hear me well? Because it's important for me. Thank you for that. I will ask you some questions along the way from time to time, and please feel free to let me know in the chat how this question is for you. And maybe also turn off all distractions so you can absorb all the info that I'm giving you here to be well on your way to overcome overwhelm and overdrive. So I hope I can see most people can hear me. This training will take about 45 minutes at the most, and I suggest we get going because I've got some amazing content to share with you here today. My name is Danielle, and I want to welcome you all to this specific workshop for busy entrepreneurs and professionals who feel out of time and out of control. 5 simple shifts to stop the overwhelm and overdrive. Thrive without sacrificing yourself and your well-being. Now, who is this workshop for? If you are a busy leader, helper, or giver, a heart-based entrepreneur, a service provider, maybe a coach or a consultant, a professional in the healthcare sector, a high-impact man or woman, and parent, and probably you are better at giving help than asking for help. Now, what would your life look like if you could be highly successful without struggle or sacrifice? In the next hour, I'm going to show you how maybe you are not even aware of it. You are functioning on a high alert level, sacrificing yourself and your well-being. Now, on a scale from 1 to 10, can you type in the chat how stressed you think you are right now? Please, just give me an idea. Okay, 1, oh, that's interesting. 9, 8, 8, 11. Yes, I get that. So we will talk more about it in detail through this training, but this is affecting you more than you think. In the next hour, I am going to show you that long-lasting balance is indeed possible for you and that it is easier than you think. I will show you how you can take back your own power and control over yourself and your life once and for all. And that you can set healthy boundaries toward yourself and others and feel free and empowered. In the next hour, I am going to show you why what you really want needs to be congruent with what you think and believe about yourself and your inner world. Now think about this. Let me know in the chat box if you know that you have not been congruent. Give me a yes or a no congruent. Okay? And I will also show you that always putting others first and neglecting your own needs and care is a betrayal to yourself and indeed unhealthy. And after this workshop, it will be clear to you that conscious self-care is not a luxury, but a necessity. Now, you may ask yourself, what makes this webinar different? Well, there is nothing for sale here. This is just good, helpful content that will help you to thrive successfully in every area of your life without sacrificing yourself in the process. I promise. And why do I ask you to stick around? Because if you stick around until the end of this presentation, you will get something of great value to you. Just to thank you for your persistence and your full attention. You will receive my 7 stress-busting self-care routines that you can apply immediately in your daily life. So stick with me till the end and you will get this in your inbox. But first, I've got a few questions for you. Do you often experience low energy levels with serious fatigue, depletion, or even possible exhaustion? Or are you living in overdrive, trying to live up to all expectations that society and people ask from you, having a lot of shoulds on your list? Or maybe you are too strict or harsh on yourself, with that negative voice in your head criticizing you consistently. Or maybe you feel like you are giving so much of yourself, but that it never seems to be enough. I'm sure most of you recognize this. Please type a yes or a no in the chat for me. Do you think that taking care of others comes before taking care of yourself? Or have you lost connection with who you really are and what you really want for yourself? Some of you might even feel stuck because you do not know how to shift out of this vicious cycle and you think nobody understands what you are going through. Or you know that you need to do something about this, but you do not know where to start. Or maybe you just can feel like you can't seem to get your breakthrough after trying so many things. I had a client the other day who has been trying for 7 years to do something about this. Well, I have important news for you. If any of this feels like you, there is a solution. There are 5 simple but essential shifts that you have not made yet in your life that I'm going to show you today. And more of these shifts just in a minute. These shifts will unlock the doors to your long-lasting balance, inner strength, and fulfillment so that you can finally start thriving in life without any sacrifice. They will give you more self-awareness so you have your power back, more energy and zest for life, more clarity and focus so you make better decisions and improve your all-round performances, which is essential in your entrepreneurial and professional life. And also more joy and freedom to live your true values and passions. I can tell you that they will also give you more self-value and self-care so you feel empowered and energized. Certainly more authenticity and self-expression of who you want to be in this world, and more fulfillment in every area of your life. What you need to know is that there are 5 mistakes you need to take out of your life to regain your balance and thrive in every area of your life without any sacrifice. Yes, but you can ask yourself, who am I to talk to you about this? I am Danielle Sax. I'm a physiotherapist and entrepreneur, and I am the founder of Living in Balance. The reason I am talking to you here today is because I have lived this. Since recovering from a serious stress-related illness in 2003, where doctors told me I would end up in a wheelchair, never be able to walk the stairs again, let alone work again, I specialize since then in coaching and mentoring heart-based, high-impact professionals and entrepreneurs who give so much of themselves to their business and their family life that they deplete or sacrifice themselves in the process. Now, I developed a 7-step process that helps them get their life back. This process has been proven successful and repeatable all over the globe, and you can read about it in my book. Yes, I'm a published author and public speaker, an expert on chronic stress and the importance of conscious self-care and self-love. My articles are published all over the world, even in the Huffington Post in the USA. Now, today, I am a very proud grandmother in good health, as you can see. This system of conscious self-care is proven to work in my own life, and it works with my clients across the globe. It not only gives you your life back, but it also gives you the tools and steps to live a balanced and meaningful life and thrive without sacrifice. You will discover the 5 shifts just now. But first, let me tell you this. What exactly is stress, overwhelm, and overdrive? Think of the caveman who goes hunting. When he sees the big brown bear coming toward him, he feels in danger for his life. Looking at this graphic, you can see how his body is reacting to the brain that says danger. And it starts to produce an automatic stress response mechanism. Can you see in this graphic that the production of hormones increases several body functions, and his stress level, you can see it going to its maximum, so that he has the possibility to either fight for his life, flight, or freeze. Now, once the danger disappears, his stress level comes back down to 0, and he feels himself in a relaxed state again. You can see it. It goes straight back to 0. Now, the stress mechanism is here to help us in a positive way. Yes, it is here to help us in a positive way, to keep us alert. And it gives us the extra energy to bring challenging situations to a good end. Now, think of, for example, a competition game in sports you want to do, or an important exam, or a public speech you need to give. But I want to show you this. In society today, we live with a continuous alertness in our mind and body, as if there is a continuous danger threatening us. The danger is not physical anymore, but it's more mental and emotional. And in this graphic, I especially put it in red, you can see how we put ourselves into the stress response modus from the moment we wake up. We are worrying, wondering what might happen if. We are thinking, is this good enough what I do? Will I be ready in time? It is that consistent fear of not being good enough, together with our 24-hour availability and the pressure of society, that puts us in a state of overdrive, where we hardly ever come back, can you see that, to the relaxed state? But we function continuously above 50% stress levels. Can you recognize yourself in this graphic? Put me a yes or a no in the chat. Can you recognize yourself being most of the day above the 50% alertness? Can you imagine that our bodies are really under pressure there because they are not made for this continuous alertness or danger signal? Now, this is how we overuse and burn out our adrenals, and we accumulate high levels of cortisol and adrenaline in our body. You can call this overdrive or chronic stress, which has an effect on everything and results in a lot of mental, physical, and emotional dis-ease and symptoms. Today, we are bombarded with a lot of negativity coming our way. We live in a world of overwhelm and chaos. We need to find a way to handle this, and we need to protect ourselves mentally, emotionally, and physically. Because this is danger. This is dangerous for us. Now, there is a quote that says, "It is not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry it." And this drawing gives you the old way of dealing with this, on how we live from the outside inward, how we are taking in every negativity and taking things personally, being lived by circumstances and people, being depleted by giving too much of ourselves to others. We take in all our negativity and we take in all the worries, and we cannot think or feel for ourselves anymore. Can you see that? That is how we live in overwhelm and overdrive and feel exhausted and out of control. I lived like this for 38 years. Do you recognize this? Please put it in a chat if you do recognize this. Because we live more and more in our head, overthinking everything, whether it is good enough or not. I especially did this drawing because can you see how these thoughts and beliefs become monsters and they cut us off from our true self, from who we really are? This is how we have done it most of our lives. But enough now with the overwhelm and the overdrive. We are going to learn a new way to thrive without sacrificing yourself and your well-being. We're going to live from the inside outward, meaning that you are going to decide what you take in and what you give out from a place of inner strength, self-worth, and self-love instead of overwhelm and overdrive. You will practice self-management instead of time management so you can be the driver of your car representing your life. No more sitting in the back seat or the trunk of your car. You are going to take your steering wheel into your own hands. You will feel empowered again and live from your core. You are going to connect with your feelings and needs. You can see it in the drawing. There's going to be, again, a connection with your feelings and needs, and you're going to learn to respect and express them. And because you will think clearly about what you want and what you need, you will be able to give from that place to others what they want and need with healthy boundaries and choices. So, are you ready now for these 5 essential shifts that will help you to do that? Okay, shift number 1. Stop being lived, overwhelmed, and directed by circumstances, conditions, and other people. In your surroundings, we know that inner success is not determined by outside forces. This is one of the biggest mistakes we make, living from the outside inward. You have a choice how to deal with your outside world and what exactly you let in. So stop being pulled in all directions by everything from the outside. Now, if you do not change this, you know that you will be influenced always and controlled always by what happens in the outer world. You will depend on others for your own happiness, which is not what you want. You will feel empty and out of control because you're sitting in the backseat of your car. Now, if you do get this, you will feel in charge and empowered because you can put your own hands on the steering wheel of your car. You will sit in the driver's seat, deciding which lane or direction you want to take. And you will have a choice, and it is your choice to take. Let me just have a sip of water here. Going to step number 2. Shift number 2. Stop taking the world on your shoulders, trying to save, help, please, and care for everybody. Because it's just not possible. Stop feeling responsible for everything and everyone, because that is not your task. Now, if you don't change this, again, you will often be exhausted and depleted, carrying such a heavy burden on your shoulders. And you will feel inadequate and never good enough because you depend on other people's recognition and confirmation. And you will always be focused on what happens outside of you, never feeling fulfilled on the inside. Now, if you do get this, you know that you will save your energy to focus on what is really important to you and serves you. I promise you, you will be able to set healthy boundaries so that you can give the very best of yourself to whom and what you value the most. Shift number 3. Stop that negative voice in your head, comparing yourself and criticizing yourself for what you are not, do not, and have not. That inner critic telling you consistently, not good enough, quick enough, strong enough, blah, 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 blah. Now, if you don't change anything about this, you will be or become your own worst enemy because you will be focused on the lane of others instead of your own. You will waste time and energy to look how others are living their life, driving their car, and you will never feel good enough in your own skin. And surely you will lose the most essential tool to build a meaningful and fulfilling life, which is the biggest force within you, and that is your self image. If you do change this, you will cultivate a healthy belief system, a strong self value and self image, and you will live with an energy of expansion, flourishment, and growth. You will not only help others, you will not only help yourself, of course, but also be the helper and the example that you want to be to others. That's the clue. Now, shift number 4, meaning stop putting others first. Because stop putting others first before yourself. Because not taking the time, the space, and the care for yourself unless you are obliged to is not going to work. So, if you don't do anything about this one, you will run out of fuel, which is energy, and not be able to drive your car. You will sacrifice yourself, your health, and your well being because you will probably burn out or get sick without even realizing it. And you will set a wrong example for everyone around you. But if you do change this, you will finally give first oxygen to yourself. Now, you can compare that with the metaphor from the plane, where you put on your own oxygen mask first before helping anyone else. That is what the flight attendant says. Please, first the oxygen mask onto yourself before helping elderly people or children. You will also experience that self care is not a luxury, but a necessity to live a balanced life. And you will be able to manage better your time, your stress, and your life because you will learn to manage yourself better. Now, it is my life's work and message to teach you that conscious self care is not selfish, it is your birthright. Let me repeat that. Conscious self care is not selfish, it is your birthright. And that brings us to step and shift number 5. Shift number 5 says, stop thinking. And maybe this is even the most important shift of today. Stop thinking that you can fix your inner and outer game with a quick fix method. There is no magic wand or magic pill. There is no secret. Maybe you have tried already a few things that helped for a moment, but did not last, like a series of relaxing massages. I know how massages can be beneficial. Maybe you've tried a detox diet or a meditation course, but that is not taking on the problem at its core. It is not going to work. If you keep on believing in the magic, well, if you keep on investing in quick fix methods and not treating the problem at its core, you will have more and more mental, emotional, and physical symptoms telling you that you are on the wrong track because you will never really thrive from within. because you stay on the surface. And you will soon get a huge wake-up call that might take you so much longer to recover from than to address the real issue now. I can assure you that's what I had. My wake-up call was huge and it took me such a long time to recover. But if you take this on at its core, you can start investing in the most important relationship in your life, the relationship with yourself, with you. And you can start doing the real work to fill up yourself, to fill up your cup and keep it full for the rest of your life. You will thrive in every area of your life without any depletion or sacrifice, making your conscious self-care a priority and enjoying this habitual, fulfilling lifestyle. Yes, you can go from barely surviving to consciously thriving. I have seen it over and over again with my clients. There is a way to build this with a step-by-step sequence that can be customized to you. And here is what it has done to my clients. Here is a testimonial from Tom, and I'm just going to ask you to give me a few minutes to illustrate this because I want to show you the before and the journey and the after. Before, Tom was a successful entrepreneur with a mission of, he was 41 years old, being part of the family business for 2 generations, not wanting to disappoint his father or uncle. He was a sensitive leader, not liking injustice at all and too much authority. He was suffering from all the expectations of his surroundings. He was prone to stress, overwhelm, and living in his head, not being good enough. He was carrying all responsibilities as if his life depended on it, being in overdrive, putting others first before his own well being. He was trying to be the perfect husband and dad, being very hard on himself and trying to please all social contexts, going over his limits time and time again. Yes, Tom had regular symptoms and health problems, on and off, burning out. Now, during his journey, we worked together on his self evaluation, taking accountability for the situation he is in, choosing to do it differently, going within to find out for himself who he wanted to be as a leader, as a father, really taking on self management, setting healthy boundaries toward himself and others, and doing the best he could without taking the world on his shoulders. Now, Tom really, we worked on realizing, that he had the right to put himself first before helping and saving others. And we built in a conscious self care routine for him to preserve his energy and balance, his in and output, and many other strategies. Now, here you see Tom with his family, and this is what he wrote after a few months of inner journey. Danielle has taught me that I have all the leadership skills in me that I need to be the leader and entrepreneur I always wanted to be. My performance has improved indeed, but in a totally different way. My life has changed completely because I now listen to my limits, my feelings, and my needs. I have stopped trying to please everyone and do the best I can from a place of self worth and self love. With all the tools and insights, I have learned to put myself first, and I am now my own best friend, which was not easy at first. Her conscious self care methods have saved my life, and I have become a different husband, father, and man as well because of my self awareness and ongoing development with her guidance. I never thought I would find my balance and fulfillment again, but I did. I have strategies now for the rest of my life to cope with whatever comes along. That was Tom's testimonial. And I've got just in short 2 other testimonials from 2 wonderful lady entrepreneurs And the left one is the one from Tina. She's a pharmacy owner, and she wrote me the following: with your spontaneity, commitment, and professionalism, you have helped in my self awareness and authenticity more than you know. You create an amazing, trustful atmosphere which gives me the space to dive deep within and build up from the core. Sometimes so confronting, but so life altering. Thank you. And Hilda, who is an author and a children coach, she wrote me the next testimonial. She's a fantastic lady who had done a lot of things to get out of her vicious cycle. And she came to me after a long, long journey already. And when we started the inner journey, it was clear that she needed to do the inner work. And here is what she wrote after our journey together. Gratitude is the word that comes up when I think about these last few months. You helped me to stop so many unhealthy habits, and I finally found calmness in my head and inner peace within. Gratitude for the mirror that you presented me and the golden tips you gave me to come closer to my core and build my inner strength from which I can now be authentic, take action, and thrive in every area of my life. Just to let you know these testimonials. Now, I have promised you today that long lasting balance is indeed possible for you, and how you can take back your own power and control over yourself and your life for good. And I also promised you that you can feel free and empowered by setting healthy boundaries. Yes, you can. I also showed you today that a strong self-image and self-value are the solid foundation for balance, happiness, and fulfillment in your life. And that you can stop depleting, compromising, and sacrificing yourself by putting yourself first. And it is not selfish because it is otherwise costing you your health and your energy. I hope you can all see that. Conscious self care is not a luxury but a necessity. Now, what you need to do, just to recap, what you need to do is to stop one, being directed by circumstances, conditions, and other people. Two, taking the world on your own shoulders, trying to save, help, please, and care for everybody. Three, stop that negative voice in your head criticizing yourself for what you are not, do not, and have not. Four, stop putting others first before yourself. And five, please stop thinking you can fix this with a quick fix strategy. Now, this is how you will overcome, overwhelm, and overdrive and experience balance, inner strength, and fulfillment. Now, you can see this logo. This is my logo for my business because you are your best investment. This is the only way to long lasting results. Can you see that? Now you have a choice to make. And I love this little man. And this is how I can help you. I have set aside, especially sometime in the next week, to speak to you personally how you can shift and thrive without any sacrifice so that you can experience complete balance and inner strength. And the cost is completely free. Now, who is this for? You must be absolutely 100% committed to your success and to changing your current situation by doing the inner work and the inner journey that we have talked about today. If you're not, please, then this is not for you. Why am I doing this? Because I have been through this journey myself, and I only work with clients that I know that I can help. It is a journey of connection and trust. So on this call, We will dial in your current situation, and I will get you absolute clarity on what you want or need to change about this for yourself and how you can get there. If you want me to help you and I think it's a good fit, I might invite you to become one of the new clients I want to work with. Now, if we will work together, we will walk you through the program that is especially designed to get you in complete balance with who you are and what you do in this world. I will, get you through an inner journey which has been called a true life-changing experience by many people. And you can live this as much as anyone else. It is your birthright and it is yours to take. So you can go onto this link to my calendar to set up a private call with me. Now, may I remind you that this is an interesting one. If you keep doing what you have always been doing, you will keep getting the results that you have always gotten. This is the truth. If you keep doing what you have always been doing, you will keep getting the same results that you have always gotten. So we have come to the end of this workshop. And yes, you have two choices, two options. The first option is to do nothing. It requires zero risk and zero faith. You can continue to experience exactly the same results and pains you have always had with zero change. The second option I'm giving you here today is to invest time in seeing what is possible for yourself and be willing to change and create the transformation and the inner balance that you want. So go to the link to pick a time on my calendar to meet me. Now, I think we had a shorter training than we was meant to be, but I do want to thank you once again for attending this workshop to the end, because you will get the bonus gift sent to you. You will get it into your inbox. But sincerely, I really hope to speak with you privately. Thank you so much. You are your best investment. Be your best investment and enjoy life. Thrive in life. Bye, everybody. I really enjoyed this training and thank you for attending. See you. Bye bye.